Hey, Captain's Log. Welcome to Social Keys Consulting. I am your host, Adrian, president and founder of Social Keys. So here's another one of my check-in videos. It's like I'm in transit on my way back home after teaching a class, making a couple runs, and this was on my mind. I wanted to talk about this for those who know what I do now currently on my job. It's kind of going to speak to that a little bit, and also I am going to speak to an experience I had in the state of Michigan. So right now everybody's up in arms about the police reform or defund the police or whatever you want to call it, but everybody, the police departments across the country got their spotlight on them about corruption and stuff, and there's always been corruption in police and doctors and everything else on the planet because people are corrupt. But anyway, so what's interesting is people's trying to convince me how I should feel a certain way towards officers or towards white supremacy or anything along those lines, and they have a problem with my stance on things. So I'm gonna tell you the story, and I might have already put it out there before, but there was a time when I was in, it was a bunch of us, we was up in Michigan, a small town in Michigan, and we went to this club, there's this club there, so a bunch of us went there, all in different cars, we all drove to this spot. So we get there, and then we hanging out and doing our thing at the club. A couple of our associates that was there was throwing up gang signs. Strict rule in that place, no gang signs. So as a result, they was kicked out. So you drove yourself, so we're not leaving because you kicked out because you was stupid up those gang signs. So it is what it is. We'll see you either when we get back home tonight or tomorrow or whatever. But we ain't leaving, like, so because you know better. So we hang out at the club and we end up leaving the club. I might do this video again. It is really, really sunny in here. I'm gonna get my windows tinted probably this week. But anyway, we leave the club and we see them after the club. They didn't go back home. So I'm like, all right, and then they was telling us they got into it with somebody out there, and I was like, all right, okay, well, whatever. So we get in the car and we all, a bunch of us go to the gas station down the street to get like something to drink, some chips and stuff on our way back home. So me and my best friend walking out the store, and the police pulled out their weapons like freeze, like don't move, and we like was moving because we really weren't paying attention because we didn't think they was talking to us because we didn't do anything. So they said it again, and we realized they was talking to us, and we like dropped all our stuff and had hands like, whoa, what's going on? They said we got a report that somebody got in a fight and they had weapons. And we said, of course, it wasn't us. They said, well, we're gonna search you in your car. And we was like, all right, that's fine, because it wasn't us. So we complied. They searched us, they searched the car, and then they let us go. End of story. Now, that part, because we was upset because we know who did it. And, you know, we was on their top because, like, man, you got to search by the police and this and that. Now, this is the thing. This is what conversation we didn't have that I want to have right now in this video, because I'm starting to pull up at home. The part where no one was thinking, well, they just did it because we was black. The reason why we didn't have that conversation, because we know they did it because we was black. Specifically, because in the town we was in, it was predominantly white. The small town in Michigan is a white town, period. So the people that got in a fight that we knew but wasn't with us was black. So given we in a mostly white town, pretty much all white, some people who had said they got in a fight and had weapons was black, and we there, and we black, and we know who did it, and we don't look alike, like at all. One of them is high yellow, like, but he black. The other dude was black, like probably about my complexion. The friend with me is darker than me. So technically, we really didn't even fit the description other than it's black. We already knew that off top. So since it ain't that many black people in the town, they asked us because they saw us, and that makes sense. Like, to us, that made sense. That's why we were tripping with the dudes who did it, because it's like, hey, you know what I mean? You know where we at. Don't be, y'all play too much. Don't be doing that stuff. So that's where that took place. So was that being racist? Was that any of that stuff? White supremacy? Or was that officers doing what officers do? They got a vague description because people are not good at descriptions, trust me, because again, I have a law enforcement background and people don't remember nothing. And so 2 black guys. And we was probably, I mean, that's probably all they got. That's all you pretty much need in this place, because and the first 2 black guys they saw, there you have it. But you know what happened while I'm telling this story? Because we complied. And it's really that simple. It was really that simple. It wasn't us. It wasn't us. It was mistaken identity. They want to see ID. Here you go. We want to search you. All right, here you go. Where your car at? There it is. Search the car. Everything was cool. Like, and I'm telling the story today. Didn't have no attitude. Yes, sir. No, sir. Like how we was raised to be on code. And the code was you respect adults. You don't talk out of pocket to adults. Period. And sure ain't gonna do that to the police, because we knew you can get scraped up or shot up or something. So I don't know what's going on with people nowadays and challenging the officers. And why you need to see my ID for, and what is this, and white supremacy? Like, man, is you crazy? Like, we used to call it getting them out the way. Hear the stuff, you can comply, get them on about their way. You know, especially you ain't doing nothing. Now here you go. Well, they should be checking. It doesn't matter. Do you want to argue with the police about whether they should be checking you or not, or you want to send them about their way? When we grew up, it was about sending them about their way. Here you go. Here your stuff. Here your whatever. And then it wasn't surprised if we did get searched, especially if we was in a known area where it's crime. So nobody's surprised. And I'll tell that story. Those stories are different level. Now, I might make it a series. Just my encounters with police officers over the years, before I even got in the field. And even how I even got in the field too. Tell that, but. Yeah, just want to put that out there. It's just like I'm just noticing that people was just really hypersensitive to this stuff, and I'm watching videos too, and people say they scared of the police, but then you talking crazy to them and provoking them. Like, which is it? Is you scared of them, or are you want to have a fight with them? Like, I don't understand what's going on with this stuff. So, leave some comments down below. I'm going to this some more and more details in the future, but right now it's just the check-ins. I'm gonna do probably like a video blog studio room where we use someone else to go into some teaching on different things, or go into more detail about my current role with my local law enforcement agency that I work with and work for, actually. So there's some things I want to make sure I talk to my superiors about again. So, but still, just I don't know, just we need to have some real conversation about stuff. And I have plenty of experience with law enforcement, whereas working for them and coming up as a kid, and experience as a black man. So a lot of the rhetoric I'm hearing, we just have to have dialogue, because really I'm not hearing this a bunch of hype. And it's really, when I have conversations with people and I ask them about their personal experience, they never even experience all the stuff they hyped up about, what they seeing everywhere else. And yeah, stuff happens, I get that, but we can blow things out of proportion. Like, say, for instance, my own hometown. What goes on here is here. What happens in Seattle or Baltimore or whatever, that don't have anything to do with here, where I'm at all. So you can't judge what's going on here with something that's happening there. Totally different area, totally different culture, totally different culture with the police, all kind of different things. And so we would just say stuff and do stuff on a wholesale level and not even looking at what's going on in their own hometown with certain things. So, and then the things that's happening locally, they being dealt with and things of that nature. But that's the thing. Just, my heart goes out everywhere else in the country where things happen with law enforcement and different people. But I live here, and I have to deal with and take care of what's going on here. So, and I believe in being part of the solution and not part of the problem. So I don't just point out stuff, hey, that's wrong. If I'm pointing it out, I'm coming with a solution and offering myself up for a solution. And I give you the story of how that plays out, how over the years that got me to a position where I am currently. So, all right, that's the video's 9 minutes. I'm gonna cut it here. I'm at my destination, and I'm gonna try to relax the rest of the day unless I decide to do another check-in. All right, and I'm out.